Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's certainly starting to cool off a little bit today, blowing a bit of a gale outside actually, so it was a nice pleasant 18 degrees at the loft, which allowed me to come up and share with you the latest addition from the Hornby RailRoad range. The Class 91 has been part of the Hornby range since about 1990, first in its original tooling, and then about 4 years ago it got upgraded to a fully detailed new model. However, Hornby have decided to bring that original model back as part of the RailRoad range. So in this video I'm going to take a closer look at this model and compare it with the fully detailed one and decide whether it's good value for money or is it a Hornby RailRoad rip-off. Well, stay with me and I'll deliver my verdict. If you're new to Dean Park, please consider hitting those like and subscribe icons to support the channel, and a massive thank you to all my existing and new subscribers who support me so well with what I do here at The Layout. You know, the late Terry Wogan had his togs, Terry's old geezers or gals. I wonder what the followers of Dean Park should be called. Get posting your suggestions in the comments section below. Right, first the packaging, pretty standard Hornby RailRoad fare to be honest. We've got red with a larger yellow area here which distinguishes it from the main range, and obviously you've got the RailRoad logo there as well. On the RailRoad models you tend to get this nice clear area at the front here so you can see inside to the model, unlike on the main range where you have more artwork. Taking it out of the box, you've got a fairly kind of budget feeling cardboard shell here with a hard plastic protector, and then this kind of crinkly plastic which the logo is kind of cradled in within the cardboard packaging itself. Along with the logo you get a set of basic operating and maintenance instructions along with a set of etch plates, which is quite unusual for a RailRoad model. It does suggest you apply them using blue tack, which is a bit strange. I'd always go for a more permanent fix. However, a lot of people don't even bother fitting these on their models anyway. This Hornby RailRoad model is based on the original Hornby tooling from around 1989-1990. Which, geez, back then I was just starting high school, and I bet some people watching this weren't even thought of back then. Right, first looking at the livery and the finish, we've got good crisp edges between the colours. The white appears to be bare white plastic because the inside of the body is white as well. I don't mind that, it gives a nice kind of X-Works clean finish to the model. It's not painted as per the kind of fully detailed Class 91 at the back there, but you know what, it does the job. We've got obviously your kind of falcon grey there and the exec grey at the back, and the red stripe, and even the warning panels at the front and the back are neatly picked out in the correct shade of yellow. On the RailRoad model we've even got a nice finely printed orange cantrail stripe around the roof of the loco, and we've also got the moulded handrails picked out in silver, which is quite a nice touch there, and we've even got the tiny little door handles on all the kind of cab access areas there picked out as well, which is quite neat and detailed for a RailRoad model. 91018 is also wearing a really cool name as well, Robert Louis Stevenson, a name I'd love to have seen on a full range Class 91 loco from Hornby. Looking at the front end of the RailRoad model at the right hand side of your shot here, we've got a fairly basic toy-like printed lighting bar. The buffers are solid plastic, there's far less detail and indeed no detailing pipes to be added because there's no detailing pack provided. And buffers, as I've said, are not sprung and they don't rotate like the full fat model by 90 degrees depending on the operation of the loco. Glazing here is rather thick compared to the detailed version. It sits too flush with the side pillars as it should be more recessed, as you can see there on the fully detailed model. There are no wipers or separate panel along the bottom of the window either, and there is no scope on the RailRoad model for a coupler to be fitted at the front. Right, looking at the roof, we've got this moulded vent here. It's not quite the correct proportion as per the real loco. It's certainly not got the detail of the newly tooled Hornby Class 91, which has got an etched panel in this area. Other details at the front here are picked out in black, very neatly and sharply, but they lack the detail of the newly tooled model. Looking at the well where the pantograph is housed, you can see it's got a metal pantograph which is sprung, which was a cool feature on the 1990s model. It is a little bit overscale and clunky in nature, and it goes a little bit too high, but you know what, it's pretty cool for a RailRoad model. Comparing it to the new model, which has got a far more detailed pantograph, but it's made from plastic and it's only poiseable, which is fine for most people's needs on their layouts. Hornby have retained this silly plastic slider there, which is used for picking up power from the OHLE, which pretty much nobody does. It would have been better if they'd taken this detail away, or even just painted this white slider black, because it makes it look a bit toy-like. Talking of toy-like, the kind of plastic insulators here and all the detail are self-coloured plastic. There's a moulded roof grille, and it lacks the definition and the detail of the newly tooled model, which you'd expect from a tooling that's nudging on for 36 years old. The blunt end of this loco is the same as the front in terms of lighting, or lack of it, and also cab lighting is not included, nor is a detailed cab. It's rather basic, kind of one-piece plastic representation. The bogies are a one-piece moulded construction with this massive coupler attached to the bogie, so it swings with the movement of the rear bogie there. No kinematic couplers here, as are seen on the new model. The loco is far lighter than its younger brother. This is in part down to the open space under the body. We only have a simple drive mechanism on the rear bogie, so no flywheels or power to the front bogie at all. Although this does have pickups onto the wheels, so it gives it a nice range for picking up power from the track. So it doesn't just rely on the four rear wheels. So that should give nice running across most track work. The underframe detail on this model is practically non-existent. Even the side grills here are moulded and are formed as part of the main body. Compare that to the newly tooled Hornby model. We've got full detail underneath, as well as etched grills on the side. But remember, this model now forms part of the railroad range, and it dates back over 30 years. Looking at the two Class 91 side by side, it's pretty clear which one resides in the railroad range. However, looking at the price of both of these models, the railroad one comes in at a penny under £100, and you'll pick it up in retailers for around the £90 mark. The fully detailed one has an RRP of £24499, but you'll pick that one up at retailers for around £220. Now obviously the new Class 91 from Hornby is a far more capable model. It's got a heavy die-cast chassis, modern drive mechanism with twin flywheels providing drive to both bogies. Compare that to the railroad version, which has a motor mounted on the rear bogie, providing power to just two of the axles, and these require traction tyres to be able to pull a scale length train. You've then got operational compromises with the Railroad Class 91 that you don't have with the full detailed one. You can fit a coupler, for example, to the front of the new one. You can't do that to the Railroad, so you can't have the loco running blunt end first. However, in its defence, the Railroad model is just fine in this area, because I don't really run my Class 91s, the fully detailed versions that is, blunt end first. As you can see here, I've taken the coupler off the model and fitted all the detailing pipes. So maybe not having a front coupler on the Railroad 91 isn't such a major issue. So is this basic Class 91 a Hornby RailRoad rip-off? Well, I don't believe it is actually. For under £90 you get an icon of the East Coast Main Line to pull trains around your layout. Sure, it's not got the features of the fully detailed version that sits just behind here, but you are paying under half the price. And that for some will be just enough to tip the scales and get them to buy the railroad version. So what do you think of this Hornby RailRoad Class 91? Is it good value for money? Have you got the model yourself? And is it capable of pulling a full scale length train around your layout? I'd be keen to know, so please get posting any feedback in the comments section below. Unfortunately, that's me out of time in this video. I'm going to nip along to the golf club now and play a quick 9 holes while it's a little bit more overcast and not quite so hot. And the last 3 or 4 times I've been out, I've burnt my legs, my ears, my neck, my nose, and that's even with the factor 50 on. So I'll just be glad to hit some balls without the sun beating down on me. Remember, get your suggestions in for what you should call a follower of the Dean Park channel. I'm in not in any way comparing myself to the greatness of Sir Terry Wogan with his Terry's Old Gits. However, it would be cool to have a name for the followers of the Dean Park channel. In the meantime, thanks for watching, put on the factor 50, and I'll see you in the next video.